Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I just came from a school and it was raining on my head, so stay dry as you guys go home today. Hopefully it'll stop raining by the time we have to leave. Couple quick reminders. If you have not yet registered an ELN, please do so. It is one registration for the entire weekly webinar semester. So August through December was one class this year. I was trying to make it easier on you, so hopefully that's helpful. The second one is to please sign in. If you are looking in the chat window, you will see the sign in is listed for you there. It's also, if you're at weeklywebinars.palmbeachschools.org, just above and below the window, you'll see sign in with the black background. That is the other place where you can sign in for points. So those two places are where you can go. I also want to point out that, let me make this just a tad bit smaller before I share with you. If you are at weeklywebinars.palmbeachschools.org, and let me actually go there so you can see what I'm saying. So we're playing the video, so we're going to see ourselves. And if you hit this YouTube link, it's going to take you here. And when you're here, you're going to be able to see the chat window. And just below is where you can type your responses. Also, if you click this gear, you want the quality on 720 so that it looks crystal clear and beautiful. Otherwise, it's going to look all sorts of jumbled, and you probably aren't going to like it very much. So please go ahead and do that, and that way you will have a much more pleasant experience. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that you all are seeing what I'm saying. So let's move to the next slide and make sure it moves. Okay, so today I'm so excited. We're going to learn all about Google Forms and quizzes, which is one of my favorite things to do. I don't think this is working. So let's see. If anybody can give me a sign of life, that would be awesome. It says I'm broadcasting. It says I'm live, but I'm not seeing the little, there you go. My little red dot down there next to live wasn't on, so now it's on. So Melanie gave me that sign of life. Thank you, Melanie. I know that there is, just so that you know, Gail Segalakis, did I say her? is new to our team. Say, welcome, Gail. And she's sitting here with me. And just so you guys know, and she knows, there's about a 5-second delay. So they're hearing me about 5 seconds after I say it. So I have to have that wait time like a good teacher does. You got a hi from Melanie, by the way. Cool. Okay, let's keep going. So my name is Melissa Matthews. I work with the Department of Educational Technology with Gail, and we teach teachers technology. So if you go to palmbeachschools.org/edtech, you're going to see our district website. And if you go under Classroom Technology Support, you're going to see all the things that my department supports. So feel free to go through and peruse and browse and learn some neat, cool things about all sorts of projects that we have in our county. So we always want to start with the why, right? So why do we need Google Forms? Why do we need Google quizzes? We need to collect data. We have to have a grade book. We have to find out whether or not our students have mastered that skill. We need to make sure that our staff has properly completed things or done things for us. We don't like grading papers, so wouldn't it be great if Google could just do it for us? So many reasons why we want to use Google Forms. So I learned in the morning session that time flies when I'm teaching this, so I'm going to go a little on the fast side. And I know a lot of you are going, no, but remember, this is recorded. So you can go back, you can play, you can pause, you can go back and forth, and you can watch it as many times as you want. So if I go too fast, feel free. And always, you know, I am watching that chat window. So if you miss something, yell at me to do it again. And remember that I'm going to get it 5 seconds after I say it. So maybe you might want to type what it is that I said too fast if I say something Too fast. Okay, too fast. Google Forms and quizzes. In the chat window, do me a favor. Let me know, have you used it before, yes or no? So what do you think? I've used Google Forms. Yes, I've used Google Forms. No. Go ahead and type it in that chat window. So I got some yes. I got Nikki wrote Forms yes, which is making me think that you haven't used quizzes yet. Pat Maroney, I do not believe that you haven't used this yet. I can't even fathom that the answer is a no with you. Lori, I'm glad you said yes, because I know that is true. Erica Collins, not quizzes. Okay, good. And I'm assuming that a lot of people have not figured out quizzes, just like Nikki wrote. So here we go. We're going to move on because, again, we have no time. So what's better than going live? So let's get out of here and let's go live. So opening up a new tab. I'm going to go to my app selector and I'm going to go to forms. Remember, these are movable. So I can move it where I want and I can go ahead and select forms. And know that there's a ton of templates. So there's that exit ticket, there's a blank quiz, there's a assessment, there's worksheets, there's all sorts of stuff in there. And if you scroll through, there's even more. And it can show you all sorts of templates that are in here that you can utilize. We're going to go ahead and get a blank one. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to make a blank form. Not the blank quiz, but the blank form. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And this is what you get every time. So you get the purple. See, did you see Pat fess up? She put no, not recently. See, I know Pat very well, and she was a STEM teacher for the longest time. And you can't tell me you were a STEM teacher and didn't use Google Forms. Like, yeah. Plus, she's super techie. So, anyway, moving on. So first things first, got to title my form. So I'm going to write weekly webinars. And it's the afternoon class, so I'm going to give it a PM. And I don't know about you, but I'm encouraged to do more when it looks pretty. When it's this purple and boring looking, I don't want to answer the form and I don't want to do anymore. So I always start with making it pretty. So if you go up to the top, you'll see this color palette and it says customize theme when you click over it. If I click on it, it's going to give me all sorts of colors I can use. However, I want a picture. So I'm going to click choose image and notice I can choose my own photos down here, or I can pick one. So I'm going to go to food and dining because tis the season to eat, right? And let's see, notice how some of them move. Do you see the fire burning and that napkin waving in the wind? Pretty cool, right? Birthday cakes, intimate dinner. Let's choose that one, the intimate dinner. So let's go ahead and select. And you'll notice that everything will automatically adjust to the colors in the picture. So I actually want my background to be just a tad bit darker, or maybe I want it gray. Gray's kind of nice. I think I'll keep it gray. And then I need all that room on the side. Actually, first, sorry, they added font style. How cool is that? So I can have it decorative, or I can have it formal, or playful. And I think we'll go with playful right now. Why not? And then we're going to close that side window down. And here we are. And I can write my description. This is about Turkey Day. Right? What else? Next week's Turkey Day. So we got to get ready. Okay. So first questions first. I just go ahead and I click and I type, will you be celebrating Thanksgiving? Question mark. And look, it already predicted what my answers might be. How smart is Google? Yes, no, maybe. So I can click add all. However, I want it to be definitive. I don't want a maybe in there. So I'm going to click the X and make the maybe go away. And I want it to either be a yes or a no. And you'll see why in a moment. So now I'm going to look at all the things on my screen. So I can duplicate this question. And so maybe I want to write, will you be celebrating Christmas. And then I could duplicate it again if I wanted to. And I could say, will you be celebrating Hanukkah? Except I have to know how to spell Hanukkah. There you go. And so we could have all these yes, no questions and I love how it duplicates it for you. So you don't even really have to think so much. It just does it for you. Let's look at all the different types of questions. So if I click here, I have short answer. So short answer can be graded by a quiz. And so it can basically, you want 1 or 2 words when it's going to be a quiz. If it's just a form, it can be up to a sentence. Paragraph cannot be graded by a quiz. I believe it's the only one. And so paragraph will allow you to type a paragraph or more. Now, what we have here is multiple choice, which means you have to choose only one. So they're called radio buttons, and you can only select one. Where a checkbox, you can select all of them if you want to. So that's the difference between a multiple choice and checkboxes. And oftentimes in FSA and things, we call that multi-select. So in case you want that terminology to match up, checkboxes are multi-select. The other thing you can do is a drop down. So let's add another question. And let's say, what will you eat for Thanksgiving? Okay, and so the first one's going to be turkey, of course, and then ham, and then brisket. My husband wants to have brisket. I'm not sure why. And I always want filet mignon, and I think it's so much fun to say that word. So I'm going to add that as well. And you always should probably have an other when asking questions about food, because you never know what people may be having lobster, and that's important. So you got to leave a block for that, right? Now, what's cool? Okay, so turkey, let's find a picture. Check that little bracket out. So I'm going to click add image. I'm going to search, and I'm going to write in turkey. And I know we didn't go through all the question options. We'll go back to that in just a second. I got distracted with food. So here's my turkey, and I'm going to, it's not very pretty, but the rest are like real turkeys. So we'll do this one. And we'll select, and you can see how it'll embed that turkey in there. And so let's do ham real quick. We'll do all 4. So we'll do ham. And that looks delicious. We'll add that one in there. And brisket. Yum. Are your mouths watering like mine is? And filet mignon. That one, and select. And so now we have all of our pictures in there, right? So let's go up to the top and let's see how our form's going to look real quick. Now you can see that these 3 questions are there. I actually want to make my Thanksgiving question with my Thanksgiving question. So I'm going to take this and drag it up. So there you go. My first Thanksgiving question goes with my second Thanksgiving question. Now I can make them required if I want to, so you have to answer them, or I don't have to if I don't want to. And if I ask it and I decide, you know what, let's just keep it Thanksgiving, I can go ahead and I can delete this question, and I can delete the Hanukkah question. And now all I'm talking about is Thanksgiving. So now you see how long it looks with all those pictures. A lot of people look at that and say, I don't think I want that. Well, let's look. If I click that little eyeball, it's going to preview my form. And check this out. Will you be celebrating Thanksgiving? And look how pretty that looks for my choices. What will you eat for Thanksgiving? So that, I think, looks much better. And you can always write in that other and then submit your form. So that is how it will look when you do those beautiful pictures. So let's go back for a second. We talked about the first 4, drop down. So a drop down is going to, and let me actually just add a question real quick. What day will you celebrate? And normally, you know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go cut that real quick and see how all my days appear. So I'm going to add them because, like I said, Google's smart. And then I'm going to paste the rest of my question back. And I'm going to say Monday, Tuesday, we probably won't choose. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe the options. But I want this one to be a drop down. So when it's dropped down, let's go back up to that I and see how that's going to look. So here's my first question and my second pretty question. Oh, and look how beautiful that is. So I just select the word that I want to put the answer in, and I am all set. So if I have a long list of things, that drop down is definitely the way you want to go. So let's see. On here, the other thing we can do is file upload. So all of my teachers had a form they had to fill out. I want them to scan it in and upload it to me. They can do that on this file upload. Basically, it goes in through Google. You can also have students send in files to you that way as well. And again, this is any file at all. That can be digital, it can be a picture, it can be a PowerPoint, it can be a PDF, it can be a Google Doc, it can be anything you want. The linear scale. So basically it's a 1 through 5. You label what 1 is, you label what 5 is. So 1 can be the best, 5 can be the worst, 1 can be, I don't know, you get the idea. We don't need more examples, but it's 1 through 5. Multiple choice grid. So basically, which day are you going to eat which foods? Let's pretend. So the tops are going to be all the rows of day or columns of days. The rows will be which food are you going to eat which day. Multiple choice means that you can only choose 1 meal per day. Checkbox or 1 meat per day. Where checkbox, you can have all sorts of meats, all sorts of days. So you could have a checkbox and everything. So let's say you're going to have turkey, ham, filet, everything on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all of it. You can use that way. Those two are kind of hard to picture, so you may want to actually create that to see. The date brings up the calendar, and the time brings up the hour, minute, second. So that's all of your options in terms of questions. Now, let's see. This side. So we already said that plus is going to allow you to add questions. So if I click the plus, it's going to bring me down to the next question and allow me to ask another question. But I don't want to, so I'm going to delete that. If I want a text box, let's say right here, I want a text box, I could do this. And it actually brought it below. And I could put Thanksgiving meal. So this is only for text. And I can grab these 3 dots and move them wherever I want, just like I did before. So there's my Thanksgiving meal title box. This is if I want to add a picture all by itself. So it's the same way that I added pictures before, and I can search if I want to, or go into my Google Drive if I want to and grab those pictures. But this is how I would add a video. So if I want to click video, I can put, it's got to be Charlie Brown, right? We watch it every year. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. There we go. So here it is, 1973. I'm dating myself. And let's select. So there's our Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I feel like it's like a must. You have to watch it every year. Okay. So now the last one. This is where branching happens. And a lot of you in my classes have said, teach me this, but there's never any time. So we have 11 whole minutes left. So I'm going to teach you. So here's what we do. The first question, will you be celebrating Thanksgiving? Remember it said yes, no, maybe? I took away the maybe because we're going to add a section break right after that. And on this question, I am going to hit these 3 little dots and say, go to the section based on an answer. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to say, if the answer is yes, I want you to go to section 2. And if the answer is no, I want you to submit the form, because I'm not going to ask you what you're going to eat and what day you're going to eat it if you're not going to celebrate the holiday to begin with, right? So now let's see if our form worked. I'm going to click that I, and I'm going to say, okay, there's only one question. Will you be celebrating Thanksgiving? Let's say no. Click next. It says click submit to finish. So I did a good job. Now let's go back. And this time let's say yes. Click next. Here we go. There's my movie I can watch. And then I can choose what I'm going to eat. I'm, of course, going to have turkey, right? Got to have turkey on Thanksgiving. And, of course, I'm going to have it on Thursday because I have to read all the ads to be prepared for Friday, right? So I click submit, and now I have an answer. I'm actually going to submit another response. This one I'm going to say no, and I'm going to go ahead and say next and submit. And then I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to say, yes, I'm going to have Thanksgiving, and I'm going to say I'm going to eat ham, and I'm going to have it on Wednesday. And I'm going to click submit, and now I have some answers. So I'm going to click my view page and close that and go back to my edit or my untitled form, which, ready, magic. I'm going to just click on where it says untitled form. Boom. Whatever you've titled it here will automatically appear up there. So now you can see I have 3 responses. So I'm going to click this tab, and look, it graphs it for me. So I can see 2/3 of my group are going to have Thanksgiving and 1/3 will not. And then out of that group, half are going to have turkey, half will have ham. And again, half will have it Wednesday and half will have it Thursday. So if I had more responses, I could have more data, of course. I can always copy that chart and paste it wherever I want, which is kind of nice that that little copy is right there. Also, if I want to have it on a spreadsheet. So if I click that little green guy, I can create a new spreadsheet. It automatically names it the name of the form. And here it is. So now I can, it's working, I can filter my responses, and I can say, I only want to see people that are having Thanksgiving, and say yes, and you can see that no went away. I can turn my filter off, and instead I can sort A to Z, and anyone with ham first, it will automatically redo all of the things or organize all of the columns, all of the rows. Okay, so if we go back, let's talk about settings real quick. We're running out of time. So if we go to our questions and we go to settings, here are our options. Do I want it to collect email addresses or do I not? So that's an option I can click collect. And I can also have response receipts, which means if the respondent wants it, they can have it. There's a toggle on or off, or everyone will get them. Totally up to me, whatever I want. If this is checked, that means the only people that can access this form have to be in Palm Beach County. The next one says that you may only answer the form once. You may not ballot stuff. You may not have more than one. It's only one at a time. And then this bottom part, respondents can edit after submit. So if you want them to be able to change their answers, that needs to be checked. And if you want them to be able to see a summary of the answers and responses that people have put in, you can check that, and then they can see those graphs as well. That will not allow them to see who chose what, but it will be able to give them an overall picture of what the response is. On presentation, show progress bar. Now, if you have a long quiz, you must have show progress bar on. I highly encourage you, because if it's a long quiz, you get about halfway through it and you don't know if it's ever going to end. And finally, you just say no and you turn it off. If you know the end is in sight, that's really going to push you through finishing that quiz. So hopefully that helps. The second one is to shuffle the question order. So if all of your kids are sitting next to each other, you want to shuffle that question order. Do you want to show the link to submit another response? So when they finish that quiz, are they going to take it again? Or is someone else going to take it again? That's when you want that checked. Confirmation can be anything you want. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for filling out my form. I hope you got an A, anything you'd like it to be. And here's where the magic happens. This is my quizzes. So if I click quizzes, I can make it a quiz. And that's how easy that is. Ready? So do you want the grade to be released immediately after they click submit, or later after you, the teacher, have reviewed it and then returned it? Your choice. Do you want them to know if they missed a question? I think the answer is good, that it's checked, but it's totally up to you. Do you want them to be able to see the correct answers when they finish? Yes or no? So I'm going to keep that checked so you can see what that looks like. And point values. If you have that checked, you must assign a point value for every single question. I personally don't like that, so I'm going to uncheck that. And I'm going to click save in the top right corner. This is probably the only time in Google that you actually have to click save. So I'm going to click save. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to view that. Oh, I'm sorry. We have to give the answers. So here's my answer key. The correct answer of will you be celebrating Thanksgiving is yes. Down here, the correct answer for what you are eating on Thanksgiving, and of course there is no correct answer, but we're making it up, is turkey. You can also make it 2 answers if you wish. So turkey or ham are acceptable, but brisket, I don't know, my husband's not okay. He thinks brisket's okay for Thanksgiving. I don't think so. And then what day will you celebrate? Our answer key should be Thursday. And again, you saw how it can be more than one answer, so it's totally up to you. Okay, so my answer key is done. I'm going to click that little I, and I'm going to take this quiz again, and I'm going to say, yes, I'm celebrating Thanksgiving. I'm going to have turkey, and I'm going to have it Friday, let's say, just so we get one answer wrong. Notice I have the option to have a copy of my responses, and I'm going to click submit. Now I can see previous responses. I can view my accuracy, which is going to show me what I got right and what I got wrong. So you can see turkey is right, having Thanksgiving is correct, and having Friday is wrong. It should be Thursday. Okay? And again, on this, it automatically populates all my answers for me. So now I have that show who took that form. So it's already there. Okay, are you ready? We're going back. Oh, real quick. I forgot one more thing. Add-ons. And we're going to fly through these because we are out of time. So if I click send, that's how you send my form. I can do it via email, add whoever's email address here, and go ahead and send it. I can also attach it as a URL and put it up on my board, or I can embed it into a Google site or a Google something. I can always put that link into a Google Classroom as well, or I could just add it from Google Drive into my classroom. If I go over here, I can add collaborators that will allow other people to co-create the form and or quiz with me. I can also get add-ons here. So if I go to get add-ons, this is where the store is. Form notifications tell me every time someone fills it out. Choice eliminator is really cool. So let's say I only have 10 turkeys. Once all 10 have been chosen, now we have to move on to something else, and turkey is no longer a choice on my form. Form values is also one of my favorites. I don't see it right off the bat, but form values, here it is, works really great. You can have a built-in list of all the responses that you would want, which is pretty nice. You don't have to type them every time. Once you add them from the 3 dots, they all live here. So here are all of the add-ons that I have installed. Okay? Okay, I have a quiz for you. Are you ready? Here we go. This is your test. I am going to copy it and paste it in the chat window. So if you guys do not know where the chat window is, oh, it says error, try again. That's not good. It says error, try again. Can you try, Gail? Let me see. Maybe I'll refresh the screen too. Maybe that's what I need. Video unavailable, it says. Yeah, just try and write anything right now. Hopefully it's still working.
Someone did just put a comment up.
Oh, they did? Okay, let's see. Hopefully you all are still hearing me and everything's working. Mine says I'm not signed into Google, which is why I can't see anything. Okay, there. Can you put that link in an email? Yes, of course you can, Martha. Good. And I hear a yup. So, okay, so hopefully, there we go. Here's the quiz. So feel free to take your Google quiz test and see how we do. We'll go through the results in just a moment. And while you are taking that quiz, if you have time, well, you guys are taking your quiz. So we're going to move on from this one. Let's talk about the homework. All homework is due December 21st. You need to take that survey once. You need to take be in attendance and have that sign-in sheet complete. And you need to have a screenshot of what you learned. So go to your own Google form and take a picture of something new that you learned in this class and upload that into the ELM class. If you are stuck on how to upload things into the ELM class, there is a video on the weekly webinars page under homework. So there's a video walking you through how to upload your homework. I highly encourage you to become a Google certified educator if you're not already. So there's a class in ELM called Google Fundamentals Level 1. So if you're not signed up and have an interest in doing so, please feel free to do that. Also, it's not a slide, but the Discovery Education Engagement Challenge is due on Friday. So hopefully you guys are working on that and are ready to submit your prizes and projects. So hopefully you'll do that. The last thing is I'm going to copy this for you because I do not want you to have to type it all. I would very much like you to complete our EdTech evaluation form and let me know if this was helpful. And if there's anything you'd need assistance on, you can put that in the form as well. And in 2 weeks, we will be having a webinar on Discovery Education's Studio. So Studio is a brand new product for them. It is phenomenal. It's kind of like Board Builder, but so much better. So hopefully you will join me for that. That will be in 2 weeks, November 27th. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, a great holiday, and enjoy your long break. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Any questions? Go ahead and type them in that chat window. And I'm going to go check your quiz and see how y'all did. Let's see, responses. Oh, it looks like most of you got all of it right. Good job, guys. Yeah, I love it. The name of the add-on that allows you to make equations and forms is Equatio. I didn't even get to that, and almost all of you got it right. Good job. How can you get to Google Forms? The app selector and forms.google.com is correct. You cannot get there in the portal, though. A lot of you put the portal. How do you add collaborators? The 3 dots. Good job, guys. Good job. Everybody did well. Thank you for that. Hopefully you enjoyed the class. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Happy Turkey Day. Thanks, Pat, and we'll talk to you soon.